Hello, everyone, and welcome to Honor Thy Podcast. This is the weekly DC TV Arrowverse podcast where we discuss everything Arrowverse. I'm your host, Dec and Dan. You may know me as the host of DC Central, and with me, as always, is my co-host Dan McCants, otherwise known as Mule Kick Media. Are you dying at the moment? You sound like you're dying, and it also sounds like his mic is cut out once again. Oh, yep, he's typing to me. Something's dead. He's already messed up. We're not even 5 seconds in to this podcast, and he's already having issues. This is just like summing up everything that we do here on our live podcast. It's just technical difficulties, having problems with audio and video. This is just
This is just my laptop not wanting to work.
He's back. He's back. I was saying, we weren't even 5 seconds in to the podcast, and you already cut out.
No, this is my laptop's fault because Discord just constantly crashes now. That's all it does.
God's sake. Anyway, what we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be going through all the news, and we're also going to be doing the reviews. No Supergirl this week, and also no Supergirl next week.
It's not on next week either.
No, it's because the Oscars next week, so they're not.
Oh wow.
Wait, are the Oscars tonight? Damn. Because the BAFTAs are also tonight. I'm watching those.
Yeah. I didn't think about this. Damn.
Yeah, so no Supergirl this week, and also, of course, no Legends. So it's just Flash and Arrow this week. But we do have some news. I'm going to start off with some very suspicious news that we found out about. And some of the most ridiculous news of the week when it comes to DC TV. I couldn't believe this when I read it, and I just thought to myself, what the fuck is this? So the new Batman prequel series, Pennyworth, is being described as an unhinged R-rated show about Alfred fighting Jack the Ripper's descendants.
Are you sure the Cinephiles didn't write this?
See, that's it. When I read that, I was like, that's LA Cinephiles, but it's not. This comes from comicbook.com. I mean, I didn't really have much interest in this show to begin with, but now I really don't.
No.
It just sounds whack.
I don't understand this. Like, I read somewhere else as well. Aren't they trying to say this is like a prequel to Gotham now? Are they now trying to say it's in the same universe as Gotham?
Apparently, yeah.
That's what I've heard, because I've heard people say that. It's like, it's just based off the sound. How can this link in with the Alfred on Gotham? It doesn't make any sense.
If it's not Sean Pertwee, I won't watch it.
No.
Because he is...
It just seems too wacky. Why is this happening? Why do we have to have this show?
I don't even know who's like... I remember when this was rumored, I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those DC projects that will be announced and then just never happens. But it actually seems like it is happening, which worries me. But anyway, I probably won't watch this anyway. I might give it a go when it first comes out, see what it's like.
Yeah.
I probably won't stick with it.
It won't have Sean Pertwee in because they've already cast the actor for Alfred.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
true, yeah, that's true.
I'm definitely not watching it because Sean Pertwee. I can't even get his name right now. Sean Pertwee and Michael Caine are the GOAT Alfreds. So if they're not playing Alfred or anything, I won't watch it.
Michael Caine, like Vampire Hunter movie. Oh my god.
Oh, beautiful.
Amazing.
Just CGI his face onto a stunt double's body.
Oh, so we also have the villain cast for Batwoman, the actual TV series.
Oh yeah.
This is Rachel Skarsten. What's notable about her is she actually played
Dinah Lance on Birds of Prey.
Which is,
can we just say as well that Birds of Prey is just completely shocking, but I still love it.
It's the most it's one of the worst that DC's done. But it's like
oh my god, stop this!
But
why does this happen?
I'm still picking you up, so you haven't cut out just yet. You're still going here. But anyway, this villain casting, I haven't really seen her in much, so I don't really know what to say. They said that she's playing the villain Alice, who I believe is Batwoman's sister, I think. So a bit of family drama.
I don't know.
Season 1.
That's what we need in these shows, family drama.
Yeah, that's what the CW is severely lacking.
My god.
I find it hard to get excited for this show, just because, again, the lead actress is so weak. And did not prove herself at all in the Elseworlds crossover. I don't know what to say about it. Like, I will definitely watch this because it's in the Arrowverse, but like,
yeah,
I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. And I feel like this is going to be another Supergirl situation where I just watch it because it's in there.
Yeah, if maybe Crisis on Infinite Earths can do as one thing, can it just like reboot the universe so hard that it recasts Batwoman? Yeah. Maybe I'll be happy then.
Crisis, please. But that's just what we need, because I can't be doing with that. But yeah, sure, whatever, cool, it's fine. Now we did get some big news, and this is probably the biggest news. This is quite relatively big news, especially for Arrowverse. All of the shows have been officially renewed for their next seasons. So that
Yeah.
means we're getting Arrow season 8, we're getting Flash season 6, Supergirl season 5, and Legends of Tomorrow, surprisingly, season 5. Um, I mean, Flash, not really much to say on that front. That was pretty obvious. It's the biggest show on the network. They're not going to cancel it. Supergirl, I'd say a similar thing. Supergirl's pretty big, even though Arrow has actually been doing better in the ratings, I
Yeah.
believe, this year. But still,
Mhm.
I didn't really see it, especially because Supergirl they've been really using as like their flagship show for their new Sunday nights.
Mm.
So I didn't really see them getting rid of that. So yeah, season 5 that coming in. Arrow season 8, very happy about that, obviously. Especially with Beth Schwartz continuing to be the showrunner. That's all. As long as that's
Yeah.
happening, that's all I care about.
Yeah, that was the one I was the most like because I really wanted to hope like that. That was all the news I wanted. As long as she's showrunner, I'm fine. Imagine if they turned around and said, "Guess what, guys? Googie's joining her in season 8." What a bummer that would have been.
And we're bringing back Miracles Happen as well. She's coming
Oh
back.
my god!
Beth Schwartz back into a producer
Fuck
role.
her.
God damn.
No, God no! Please don't.
Best Schwartz all the way.
Yeah.
As long as she keeps going.
Yeah. But I have to ask this question though, because everyone's going to say this. Do you think season 8 will be the final season?
Well, Dan, we'll get on to that in just a second.
Maybe some hot scoop. Scoop we've got here.
We'll get on to that in just a second. But continuing on with this news for a bit, Legends of Tomorrow also got a season 5.
Wow.
I was shocked about.
Wow.
I was shocked. I was thinking to myself, because we've been saying for ages, season 4 is the final season. It's going to get cancelled because the ratings have been dreadful. I haven't loved season 4. I kind of felt like, yeah, this show's on the way out, especially because they wrapped filming recently, and the way they were talking about it, it seemed like it was going to be the final season.
Yeah, because like what? Yeah, because the cast as well were just like the things they were posting, the way they were worded, what they were just saying online. It seemed very off, like not how they usually celebrate finishing the season.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it probably makes them look even more stupid because they probably sat there, maybe some of them thinking, "Oh, this is going to be the end." It's like, "Oh shit."
They were probably preparing for the worst. They were probably prepare for the worst, and then hopefully the best will come. And they have. If they've been rescued, they got another season. I wouldn't be surprised if this is an even shorter season. If they go down in episode length again, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Which I'd be fine with. I mean, these shows are too long as it is.
Yeah, I reckon what it'll do, because you know how obviously they have to. We'll get onto this later as well, but they have to pitch the shows by May. Yeah. What I reckon they'll do is they'll keep an eye out for the ratings, and then maybe if it continues to go down, maybe then they'll make the decision to obviously reduce the episode count so that they don't make as much of a loss, and they already are probably.
Yeah, like I definitely feel like an episode drop is definitely on the way for Legends, especially because it's such an expensive show as well. Even though they have tried to cut down on the metahuman stuff, like getting rid of Firestorm last season and stuff, we still have Constantine on the show. Whether he's going to stick around or not, obviously we'll have to wait and see what happens to him. But I am happy for Legends. I still like the show. Even though I haven't loved season 4, I really hope that for season 5 they can go back to kind of what season 3 was. Just because season 3 was god tier.
The best. The best.
It just was. I missed that show. So yeah, can we just get back to that and we'll be happy? And I mean, do you think season 5 will be the last season? Actually, we'll get to that now. Actually,
yeah.
So Mark Pedowitz, who is the president and head of the CW, was talking about the future of the DC TV universe and the future of the Arrowverse, and he was talking about how they want to keep the Arrowverse going. They want to keep it going. They want to keep moving into the next phase, is what they said. So basically copying Marvel a little bit. But he was also saying, and he was teasing that they need to pitch all these shows to ad buyers in May at the upfronts, which the upfronts is normally when we get the renewals normally. We got a very early renewal this year. But he was saying that the future of the shows, and specifically he mentions Arrow will be kind of determined at the upfronts. So what he's basically saying here is that one of the shows has been renewed for its final season. And now it's just a question of which one it is. And a lot of people are speculating that it's going to be Arrow because of the fact that it's specifically mentioned. So for me, obviously, it's not Flash, it's not Supergirl. It's between Arrow and Legends. So which one do you think it is?
The one I would like it to be, I don't even like. I think I prefer for it to be Legends, just because with the show that it is, I just feel as if it's not got as much about it. It's as fresh as Arrow. Like Arrow's in its 7th season, and it's still this season feels so fresh that I feel like I'd want more compared to Legends. But at the same time, if I'm looking at this from a realistic standpoint, I think most realistically, I think Arrow stands the highest chance of being cut. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the two. I prefer Arrow to stay on, but at the same time, I don't want Arrow going on too long to the point where it's just really bad in quality and it just becomes a joke of itself.
Yeah, because
but with Legend,
it's like the ratings for Arrow have been going up as of late, and it's just like in terms of looking at it like that, and it's doing way better than Legends. And I think to myself, well, if the CW were thinking this purely from a business perspective, surely you would say, okay, well, Legends is going to get canned. But then it's like you say, do they want how long do they want Arrow to keep going for? Because 8 seasons, that's quite a lot, and it's a nice number. But then you have to look at things like Supernatural, which is on season 15, 14, something like that, and that's on the CW, so they've kept that going. So I honestly don't know. I think from a business standpoint, it makes sense to be Legends, but I don't. And because of the type of show that Legends is, I feel like you could cancel Legends and it would be fine. Like it's not like because all the characters could just go off into different places and
it wouldn't be as big a deal if Legends was cancelled compared to something like Arrow, because obviously it started this entire thing and it's been going on for so long that it would be this huge thing.
Yeah, and
so
such big characters as well. It'd be like answer loads of questions as to like where everyone is and what's Oliver up to if he's not dead, like what's he up to, what's Diggle doing, stuff like that, like, and where's Felicity at? Like you wouldn't be able to move around that. Whereas like with Legends, like you could just be like, okay, well we can bring Sarah back. Like Sarah could even come back to Arrow. Ray could go to either Arrow or Flash. I think that would be fine. I don't know what they do with something like Zari would probably go back to her time period. Amaya would go back, or not Amaya, Charlie would go back to hers. Constantine would fuck off. You can literally just do whatever you want with the Legends, but with Arrow, it just feel like a massive hole in the Arrowverse would be gone if Arrow was cancelled. So I don't know. Unless the CW want to be absolute lads and cancel Supergirl.
That'd be amazing. I'd be happy. I'd be happy with that. But then Benjamin would just fall into depression.
Well,
so
what they should do, which they teased in Elseworlds, right? Just take Melissa and stick her on Batwoman.
Yeah.
And call it the world's finest, because at least you'll have one charismatic lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's just put the character who's got a really bad actress playing her with probably the least developed lead character out of any of these Arrowverse shows. Yeah, let's just do that.
At least it'll be a bit better, and we can get rid of the awful SJW agenda pushing stuff that Supergirl is very persistent on doing this season.
Yeah.
I mean, season 5 of Supergirl. I don't even know, because like the only thing I'm excited about for season 5 of Supergirl is like the
100th episode and the 100th episode, just to see how much they try and shove like caramel in our face.
Yeah, and also like, I mean, Legends won't get a 100th episode, will it? I don't think the episode count will.
No, because I think they've had 16 in season 1, then 17, then 18, then this is 16 again.
I reckon it'll be 16, maybe even less for season 5.
Yeah, there's no way they can go above what the episode count they've had for season 4 with this loss. There's no chance. But like, to answer the question out of which I think will get cancelled, I think Legends stands the higher chance from a financial standpoint, but from I guess more of a writing standpoint, potentially Arrow. But if I had to choose between the two, I would say Legends, just because I feel like it wouldn't be as mind-numbing to try and wrap up every single character, and especially since you're doing Crisis for the crossover this year, you've already got that to deal with. If they were to cancel like Arrow after season 8 or to end it after season 8, I think it'd just be too much for the writers of Arrow, especially since what they teased on, on Crisis on Infinite Earths, Arrow's going to play quite a big part, particularly Oliver himself in the crossover this year. So I just can't see them cancelling it this year, but I feel like it can't go past season 10. If they get past 10 seasons, I will call it milking. I will call them out on that.
I would like to see it get to season 9, just so we can get the 200th episode. But that's just being a fanboy. Let me throw you a curveball. Black Lightning.
Fuck that show.
Wow. Strong word.
Honestly, I tried, like you say, and I've said this many times, I watched the first episode of season 2, I was just bored out of my mind. It doesn't feel the same as season 1, and I tried watching episode 2 actually a few days ago. Finished it, and I'm just like, it's not grabbing me. It's not grabbing me at all. I just don't find it anywhere near as interesting as season 1.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind season 2 now. Like, I haven't seen it since it come back. and like I loved season 1, but like season 2 has just not had. I still don't know what the story is, and I don't know who the villain is. Like it's just like they're just kind of like moving and turning its wheels. Um, but Black Lightning also did get renewed for season 3. So and he didn't say Arrowverse, he said DCTV. So it could be Black Lightning. I don't know what the ratings are like for Black Lightning, and personally, I don't see them canceling it, especially not this early on. If it was in like its 5th season, maybe, but I don't see it, especially at season 3. And I think the ratings are all right because they back it with the Flash, don't they? So I don't know. But then again, I think they're backing it with Arrow now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're backing it with Arrow now, so yeah. But whatever. Please be Supergirl or Batwoman and leave everything else alone.
Yeah, just leave our precious Arrow alone while Beth Schwartz is reviving the show.
Yeah, giving it a new, bringing it back to life.
Yes.
Or cancel Flash if you don't get a new showrunner in, please.
Basically, anything but Arrow, unless it makes sense story-wise.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of the Flash, we have season 5, episode 13, otherwise entitled Goldface. That's one of the worst titles they've done.
That's terrible. That's almost as big an offense as episode 11, titled Seeing Red.
Ruined that episode of Arrow. Anyway, overall thoughts on Goldface?
I just laugh every time someone mentions that name. It's so bad.
I think it's one of the worst titles they've done. Yeah.
Like, they really must have been like, oh shit, guys, got a week until this episode launches. Just call it at Goldface. This was acceptable average to me. Well, I don't even know what that means, acceptable average. I'm just going to say that because like it was average. Most of it was filler, apart from the Iris stuff. It was fun when I watched it, but then it's like one of those where you enjoy watching it, you have a bit of fun, but then when you look back at it, it's just like wasn't really that great. Like,
I don't feel like watching it again. It's just kind of like episodes that comes and goes. It's like, yeah, you had fun with it, and now it's just like
which just feels like a lot of this season. It's just like you're watching. It's just like, oh, stuff happened, but it's like really can't be bothered rewatching it. Like I don't know.
It's not particularly exciting either. It's just kind of like
no.
I mean, this episode was complete and utter filler for the most part.
Apart from the Irish stuff, that was the only part for me that didn't feel like filler.
I mean, we got the Sherlock and Nora stuff, which was basically Nora was like, oh shit, Sherlock's onto me. I need to throw him off. So Eobard Thorne's like, oh yeah, just introduce a love interest, because that's what the CW does. So they go like, do that. And so I mean, I did quite like the idea that Sherlock has married the same woman on every Earth he's been to. I did find that quite funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like so him, that like makes so much sense. And we get like a throwback to the Council of Wells, as we have like the Council of, what was her name? Renee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god. How dare you name her after one of the greatest? How dare you? One of the greatest characters in the Arrowverse. You can't just copy his name and put it on a woman's. It's unfair.
That is just offensive. Anyway, so we have like the Council of Renees. Imagine we had like an Arrow, an actual Council of Renees.
Oh,
what a dream that would be.
That'd be amazing. We need to pitch this to Rick Gonzalez when he comes to Heroes and Villains. We're going to be like, what would you think of a Council of Renees? And then just like all the different pronunciations of Hoss on every Earth. Beautiful.
Can we go through the multiverse and just get every version of Renee? That'd be amazing. And so we had all that, and it was basically just like I like to call it flash fluff.
Yeah.
It's just when they have some kind of comedic stuff going on. But basically, what it does, it's basically throwing Sherlock off Nora's case a bit by distracting him with this woman. And we find out she's a meta as well. They don't really say what her powers are. I think it's some kind of like wind kind of power, because she like blows the door open at jitters a bit, and then walks out. So she's a meta, and this is now really distracting Sherlock, because obviously Cicada is hunting metas. So now his like single goal is no longer tracking down and figuring out what Nora's doing. It's actually protecting Renee. So this was all fine, I guess.
This is all fine, but I'm really annoyed with the way they're using Reverse Flash, though. Like, the whole way he's been utilized this season just feels so forced to me.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it's like, oh, we need him in because Cicada's such a shit villain. We'll just bring back the season 1 bad guy because everybody loves him. But it's like they're not using it properly. Like, he's basically just turning into Mr. Exposition in the future. Like, all he's doing is like Nora runs to him with a problem. He's like, it's okay, Nora. This is what you do. And then that's it. That's all he's doing. It's just
I think he had a
pathetic.
great line that I really liked in this episode where he said, "There's always a Wells."
Yeah.
Because it's basically just saying, "Oh yeah, Tom Cavanaugh's never leaving this show." It's like he's always going to be here. That was quite a good line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. He's just like because he doesn't do anything really. He just stands around in his
In a
prison
cell.
cell. Yeah.
That's
And it's just like,
also,
yeah, go here you go, Nora. Do this.
yeah.
Solve your problems.
Yeah. Also, they've still not addressed at all what that countdown was in his cell. They've still not addressed it. Like, do you honestly, at this point, when the Flash introduces something that's so vague that I have no idea what it is, half the time now I'm just expecting them to never refer to it again. Just be like, oh yeah, we just put it on screen by mistake. Not getting an answer to it.
I honestly just wish that they would reveal just what's going on because I'm kind of really losing interest in the whole Nora thing and the Eobard Thawne thing. Like, I'm just like, can we just please? Because she says in this episode, like, oh yeah, I'm here to like stop Cicada and protect my family. But it's just like, well, why are you doing everything you're doing? Why are you being so suspicious about it? Like, why are you? Because there's clearly something going on. Because why are you acting so suspicious? If you were here purely on like good angelic terms, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here to stop the big bad, and I'm here to help my family. If that was the case, then why are you just like hiding everything? And why are you saying like the Speed Force is malleable to Eobard Thawne, like the Reverse Flash? Like, it makes no sense. And like Eobard like has a like even at the end of this episode, like Eobard Thawne says like, oh yeah, we can continue with our plan or something like that. So there's something going on, and I just kind of wish they just reveal it. Like, we're episode 13 now. We've got 9 episodes to go this season. Like, we just get the ball rolling a little bit. But yeah,
Can shit actually happen that's sort of interesting?
Yeah, because this season started out so strong as well.
Yeah.
Like, episode 1 was awesome. And
episode one was like the best episode of the Flash that we had in ages. Forever.
Like,
forever.
It was fantastic. And then like the season's just become so boring. And it's really a shame because I really thought the season was going to be great. But yeah, I mean, the whole Sherlock stuff is fine, I guess. Now we did get stuff with Iris in this episode, actually doing some journalism for once.
Oh my god, we actually got some journalism scenes.
I just feel bad for Candace Patton.
I know. Imagine imagine her when she walked into that room, like being pitched season 5 by Todd Helbing, and then it's like, oh, you're gonna have all this journalism stuff. Then when it comes to actually shooting, she's just standing around being like, where the fuck are my journalism scenes?
Yeah, I mean, we do get one nice scene where she's like talking to that guy who works with Cicada, and yeah, that was nice. And then she breaks into Cicada's house, and then just kind of hides around. And then we basically get what this was all building towards, was the conversation between Iris and Cicada. To be honest, I was kind of underwhelmed by this. I thought this was going to be a lot more interesting than it was.
Yeah.
Because Iris, like, obviously she knows that she's talking to Cicada, but Cicada doesn't know who this is. He doesn't know that this is the Flash's wife. So she's just talking to him about random stuff and not actually about anything remotely interesting. So it's just kind of like these two people while Cicada sits there like he needs a shit. And it's just like... Right, okay. Chris Klein. I think he seems like a lovely guy. I really do. And when he's just being all in Dwyer, I think he's fine. But like...
That's why I was looking forward to this scene, because I thought it would just be him acting normally as Orland Dwyer like you've seen in the flashbacks. Yeah. But he's putting on the stupid, bloody Cicada voice.
And the faces he's making.
Oh my... Can we just...
I put on Twitter.
Yeah, can we just have that face running throughout this entire video at the background?
I can't.
It's got to be on the thumbnail. I'm putting that on that thumbnail.
And like, it just reminded me, you know, the episode of The In-Betweeners when they all go to that party and they all go, oh, look cool, and then Simon just like ducks down in this chair and like, that's what it reminded me of. And that's why I put that tweet. Is like when you see her at the party and you try to act cool. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think I was excited for this because I thought, oh yeah, we're actually going to see just Orland Dwyer, not, you know, because why would he be, if he doesn't know who this person is, why is he sat there going like that? Like, why? If it's just unnecessary, and it feels ridiculous. And again, Cicada is like, I think they're trying to be threatening, but he's so unthreatening. He's
just a meme. He's a walking meme.
He is at this point. Like all the memes that have come out of it, like when someone plays with your dollhouse and stuff like that. Also, can I just say, Iris, that was a bitch move.
That was cruel. That was like using his daughter against him, and then his scream afterwards goes no.
Yeah. Oh my god. But I mean, like I say, I was excited about this storyline, and when I saw it in the promo photos and stuff, like her just talking to
I
Cicada,
mean,
that's
let's
gonna be cool, and then it
yeah.
just wasn't.
I mean, in a way, it wasn't disappointing because it produced so many brilliant memes. But from a story standpoint, sucked
Nothing.
ass.
And again, it's frustrating because I
Because she
reckon,
stabs him.
yeah, they get
She
into a bit
stabs
of a
him.
scuffle. She stabs him and then runs away. And Cicada gets away. Barry shows up like 2 seconds later, just stand in front of him. You have him there. And literally, Barry, Ralph, and Caitlin show up 2 seconds later, just chuck some meta cuffs on him. Oh my god.
They're
So
they're really struggling to find ways for Cicada to carry on this season. It's ridiculous. Like somebody put up a good tweet. I'm pretty sure you've seen this. Like if this was Team Arrow, they would have dealt with Cicada in like one episode because none of them have meta
I was
powers.
thinking about this the other day. Why don't they just call Oliver to deal
Yeah.
with this? Because like it's not like because the reason why Barry can't deal with him is because one, he's not a good fighter, and two, he can't use his powers. But Oliver is an amazing fighter and doesn't have any powers. So just use Oliver. I mean, I know this
Oliver-
is the same, I know this is
Oliver-
the same excuse everyone uses on
I know.
Arrow. Like, oh, why doesn't Oliver just call Barry to solve all of his problems?
But this is genuinely makes sense because Oliver would destroy him. He'd probably kill him with his own dagger.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. No worries. Right. But no, he gets away again, and he's still gonna be. I mean, I am convinced now he is the main villain of the season because it's just like we're that far in. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Cicada. I'm really not, and I really wish that like Chris Klein would just act normally. I mean, I'm not saying it's his fault. I reckon it's more the direction because, like I said,
Yeah.
he has shown that he can do it normally. He's shown it on screen, but. Yeah.
What if they make Grace the main villain of season?
Well, that's the theory, isn't it? That's and that's why I was interested in this episode because I thought, okay, if we're going to see this, because we've only ever seen Cicada kind of be normal in the flashback, so I thought, okay, if Grace is controlling him, which is the theory, then in this scene, surely she's not controlling him. So like we just see him be normal, but again, no, he's just being like super over the top super villain. Which again, Grace could be controlling him, and if she's like the main villain of the season, I'm just gonna be like, I'm done. But no, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with Cicada. I don't know where his story's gonna end. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I just kind of wish I wish they would have got rid of him in like the mid-season finale and just continued with Reverse Flash or whatever because this is just it's so ridiculous at this point. And I feel like it's a waste of what could have been a cool character. Because I kind of liked Cicada at the start. I thought he was kind of interesting. And
it was interesting the first 2 episodes but now it's just like it's getting to the point where he could be so easily defeated if they had half a brain cell.
Yeah, and it makes Team Flash like really dumb, which they're not.
Yeah,
like
they're supposed to be full of scientists, yet they're absolutely useless.
Yeah. Also, Cisco's not in this episode again because he's leaving.
I think it's pretty much. I think everybody just has to accept now that he's going at the end of the season. There's no way he can stay.
I saw Paige bring up a good point about this in one of his videos where he was saying like I think what they're doing is the reason why Cisco's not in these episodes is it's getting the viewers used to him not being around.
Yeah.
And I think that is I think Cisco is so gone by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but I mean, if Carlos Valdez has other things to do, then sure, go for it. Get off the sinking ship before it's completely gone.
Yeah.
But anyway, the main sort of storyline we had in this episode was Barry and Ralph needed to get this piece of technology, so they go undercover with Goldface to take down basically a facility. Now, I have to. This is completely silly. Like this is really silly.
Yeah, but it was really enjoyable.
I thought it was fun. Like them being undercover, like I've always enjoyed because they've done this before where Barry's gone undercover as a criminal, and I've always liked those episodes. Like season 3, episode 22, when he goes with Captain Cold in Argus and stuff, and he fights King Shark. Like that's a really good episode. I really like that episode.
Go away.
Oh, go away! Someone is in Dan's room. But yes, this was I enjoyed all the undercover stuff. I thought that was really fun. Just seeing him, because again, I have to say as well, I think Grant Gustin did a really good job in this scene when he was like basically proposing himself as this big criminal, and he was like behind all these big jobs and stuff, and he made like this big speech about who he is, and it was very Oliver Queen sort of thing. I enjoyed that. I thought his performance was good, and also Hartley Sawyer was great in this episode, as he always is. He's been fantastic this season overall. I liked the moral dilemma that was in this episode between Barry and Ralph, where Barry just didn't want to do any of this because it was basically him being a criminal, and obviously he's the most sort of Boy Scout character in this universe. But I like the fact that he was like, oh well, sometimes the ends do justify the means, and we have to do this thing in order to stop
Rule number
cicada.
one of doing a podcast: don't let your dad in the room.
I heard you say, go away, go away, go away. But anyway, I've been talking.
Oh my god!
It's all been good. I've been keeping our lovely audience.
Have you been keeping him distracted?
Yeah, don't worry. I've been keeping him entertained while you've been
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
But I was talking about how the moral dilemma I quite liked in this, where Barry was kind of questioning himself about what he should be doing, because do the ends justify the means in this case, and the fact that he was kind of willing to go through with this just so he could stop Cicada. Okay, I have another proposition for you in this scene, in this sort of storyline. So the scene when Barry is sort of wandering around the convention for criminals, and he comes across these like guns that can burn through like Kevlar. Right. So there's been a rumor recently that another cast member is leaving this season. Do you think Joe is going to get shot with one of these guns?
I knew you were leading to this.
Because this is what when I saw this, I thought, I was like, because you don't put that much focus onto something like this if you're not going to use it later on.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Jesse L. Martin like being gone for most of this season anyway, he comes back in 2 weeks in the show, which is very good. I can't wait to have him back. But I feel like Joe is just a character who's been waiting to die. And I feel like
you can't say that about my boy Joe West. You can't say this about my boy.
I love Papa Joe and I love Jesse, but you have to admit, they've done nothing with him.
Oh, definitely.
And especially with this, I mean, obviously this season, him not being in it is not his fault. He had an injury, but I just feel like he's gonna have to go out there with the CCPD. He's gonna be wearing one of these vests and one of these guns, especially because Barry didn't stop these guns. Remember, he didn't take them off the streets; they're still around. And if Joe is leaving this season, which again is rumored, I think this could be Joe's way out. I think he's gonna die. Now, I mean, yeah. I was adamant Joe was gonna die in season 3, and he didn't. But
yeah, we all thought it didn't. We all thought he was going to die in season 4, and he didn't. He's got to die now. Can't become
this felt like too convenient of setup. And I was because I was like, well, unless they kill Captain Singh or something,
they can't kill. If they kill Singh, I'll actually be upset. That's the thing.
Singh is a legend.
He's an OG.
Because I was thinking to myself, like, it's got to be a cop character. I was like, well, the only relevant cop character we have is Joe, unless you count Captain Singh. Unless they chuck Cecile in a vest and let her run out as well.
But I will say though, I reckon if they get rid of Jesse L. Martin this season, then I think Cecile's got to go as well.
Which will be weird because they just made her a series regular. But I feel like they've got to. You can't have one without the other. So
no,
I think they're both gone. What did you think of Goldface? I actually thought like the actor who played him was actually really good.
He was very good, but he was a very silly villain at times, especially towards the end. It felt like something out of a Joel Schumacher film.
Yeah, I thought to myself, because I really liked Goldface actually for like quite the majority of the episode, but it's the final fight where they ruined him.
Yeah.
The final fight, he became too silly. And I thought, no, they've just gone and ruined this guy.
Yeah, they missed it.
He was cool. I quite liked him. Like, he was quite a, kind of sarcastic, kind of cool gangster. And then they kind of made him into like this weird meta with powers with like these gold chains and stuff. It was weird. But it was quite cool to have a fight where Barry and Ralph couldn't use their powers and they actually had to be smart. That was
cool. Although I will say that how on earth he survived being electrocuted and all his gold melting makes no sense.
Yeah, I like I was waiting for like Barry to put his finger on his neck and be like, "Oh shit, I killed the guy."
It's just like, I got a pulse. He's alive.
Yeah, I don't understand because like the way I looked at it was his skull was made of gold and it just melted. So how is he alive? I don't understand. But anyway,
the Flash doesn't kill. Flash can't kill.
No, exactly. But we did get an amazing scene in this though, which was the laser tag gunfight.
Oh, beautiful!
This was great. This was again so silly but really fun. Just Barry and Ralph coming out there with all these stun guns going around. The music was fantastic. The way it was shot was really good. Ralph gets an amazing reference to Red Dead Redemption, which was fantastic.
Our
hardcore gamers out there.
Yeah.
But I really liked the scene. I thought it was really. I will watch this scene again because this was just fun.
You mean just this scene and not the episode?
just this one scene, yeah.
The only reason to watch this episode is to reborn the laser tag fan within us. Like anybody who's played laser tag basically has to give this scene a 10 out of 10. If you don't, then you have no childhood. Just saying.
I actually have never played laser tag.
Oh my god.
I nearly did once and I didn't. But anyway, yeah, I loved this. This was like easily the best part of the episode for me. Like it's just like it was just so fun, and it was just so ridiculous. Like this is the type of fun that the Flash can do sometimes, and it reminded me of like season one, season two, when it would
Mm.
actually have fun and it wasn't silly. I mean, it was silly, but you know, it wasn't like to a ridiculous degree. It was still
It wasn't cringe.
no, it did work to that degree. Um, and then finally, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, there was Eobard's plan, but we don't. There's not really much to say other than that. I mean, do you have any theories?
I don't know who makes more plans, Eobard Thornton or Dutch Vanderlyn. I'll let you decide. Because because I've got no idea what Eobard Thornton's plan is. Just like I don't know what Dutch's plan is. So.
No. Well, yeah, that'll be it. I mean, it was an okay episode for the most part, pretty forgettable. Like it was fun for the time, and now I'm just gonna.
Pretty forgetful. Like
I was
just
just
this
excited.
season.
I thought the Iris and Cicada thing was gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's just like it was. It was just bad. Like that stuff just sucked balls. The Sherlock and Renee stuff was just It was all right. The Barry and Ralph stuff was good, but I was like I say, it's not an episode you remember, and it's not an episode you want to rewatch.
No.
So for me, I can't really consider it like a very good episode. It's okay at best.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No,
which is a pretty good sum up for this season. So
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Apart from those first 3 episodes of the season, the rest of it just fell apart.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to our favourite, and let's move on to the best thing about this week in general, which was the 150th episode of Arrow. This is season 7, episode 12, otherwise entitled Emerald Archer, which is a great title, on the other hand, in comparison to Flash. So this was like the documentary style episode that we've been teased, you know, kind of being compared to things such as The Office. And I feel like this was just a fantastic episode that I can't wait to talk about. So let's start off where the episode starts, and I was just absolutely beaming. My boy, Paul Blackwell,
Oh my
Quentin Lance is back. Now,
yeah, for his last ever appearance on Arrow.
Unfortunately, I was spoiled by this the day before. I was trying to stay off Twitter, but I went on because someone sent me a message, and I just saw and even Paul Blackthorne spoiled it because he posted about it. But I mean, oh my god, I never thought I'd see Quentin again, and just seeing him, oh, I nearly cried. I mean, I was just like, I was so happy. It's such a great moment, like just seeing him there. You know, it's literally the first thing you see in this episode as well as Quentin. You've got to love Quentin.
I love Quentin, but I wasn't crying when I saw him. Unlike Declan, who was probably.
I was gone.
Oh my god, this man's a pussy yo.
But let's just like get all the awesome sort of character cameos out of the way. We did get Thea returning, which was pretty much confirmed, which was cool. Nice to have her around. I'm surprised
Didn't get this,
have
but
her
like
in the episode itself. Like I'm surprised that Thea didn't actually show up in the episode. It was just the interview. Because I thought if they got her back for this, then because were you about to say when did this take place?
Yeah, when did it take place? Because I don't know. It felt like the interview was from like maybe season. I don't know. It felt like it didn't feel like it was like recent with the interviews. That's the other thing that confused me. With some of them,
because like Quentin's was from season 3, I think.
Yeah, and then like with
Thea footage, but it was from it was from 2014. So yeah, it was season.
Yeah, and with Thea, it felt as if appearance-wise, it looked almost like how she did in earlier, like in maybe like season 2 to 3, like in between that period, or maybe season 3. That's what she looks more like. But obviously, I think they were trying to hint that it was like from season 7, like from after she left in season 6. But I don't know. The same applies for another one, which I'll talk about it when you get onto it. But yes, that sort of didn't make sense, but it was nice to have it in the episode. I just wish that she'd actually been in the present day stuff, because I mean, maybe Willa Holland just hated like Arrow that much that she's just like, oh yeah, I'll do this one scene, but I ain't doing any modern day stuff.
I'm having no hints of me returning to the show. I did really like the Thea one though. Just I miss Thea on the show, so it's nice to have her here. Also, we got a little shot of Moira, which was beautiful. That's my only complaint with this episode. A little sprinkle of Moira would have been nice, but it wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have made sense to have Moira. We did get one with Sin as well, who we haven't seen for a while. See, this one I think was modern day because she looks very different.
Yeah.
She looked last time we saw her. Interesting character to bring back, but I did like her line where she was saying, oh yeah, it's all about the heroes and all that and everything like that, but you don't actually see the toll it takes on them. Whereas I have,
Mhm.
because obviously she was very close with Sarah, she was close with Roy. Um, so I like that. I thought that was quite good. I wasn't really
Yeah.
excited for her to come back because I never like loved her character or anything. She was
No.
fine. She was fine, but it
No,
was
but
nice.
the way they used her, I think, was very good. For a
Yeah,
character that wasn't all that big in the show. Like I think, like you say, her line in particular that she had about the toll that being a vigilante takes was pretty good.
yeah. And then we also got a one with Sarah, which I thought they might bring back Sarah for this. So it was nice to have her here. And again, I'm confused. Is this? I guess this is modern day as well because she talks about the death of Quentin,
Yeah.
which I liked because I've been waiting for her to kind of talk about this because she hasn't spoken about it on Legends at all. And I thought, and obviously she hasn't been around on Arrow to talk about it. She was in the season 6 finale, and she was there when he died, but she didn't really, have anything beyond that. So it was nice for her to kind of actually speak about that. She was saying how it was all about protecting people who they love, and sometimes you do lose people, i.e. Quentin.
Gotta say that did you cry when she was talking and then it showed that picture of
Oh
Quentin? I
yeah,
bet you
yeah.
cried again.
I was
Didn't you?
just
Oh,
instant
why do
cry.
you cry? Why do you cry so much when you see Quentin on screen? It's just
I
like
miss my boy.
grow some balls, man. Grow some balls.
I'll tell you who I did miss though, and this is the dream come true right here. This
Oh
is
my
this was
god.
this was my ultimate Arrow fantasy. It happened. Rory Regan came back. Ragman returned.
Yeah, he had like 10 seconds of
I don't
screen
care.
time.
Leave me alone.
Half of it was him asking the camera crew, "Was that okay? Was that not too much?" And he literally, you could have cut his scene out completely. You could have cut his scene out completely.
Honestly,
Honestly, it was worthless.
the first time I watched the episode, I didn't even hear what he said because I was sat there just freaking out. But like, I mean, I kind of prepared myself because in the opening credits it does have Joe Nicole's name, and I was like, oh yes. But honestly, I'm such a huge fan of this character, so just to see him back, I was so happy.
Well, they wasted him because he should have been in the current day storyline. They
They did
wasted
indeed.
Rag again. Ragman was wasted. The Arrow writers wasted him again.
He's still. What I found interesting though is that they acted as if he's still operating, like he was still operating as a vigilante. He's just not in Team Arrow, which I thought was cool. I mean, I do kind of want a Ragman spin-off show now, but whatever. But I just again, I was so happy to see Ragman return just because I love him so much. One thing that's interesting though is that, and this applies to Helena Bertinelli, the Huntress, as well, who kind of shows up in this episode. Um, they don't confirm nor deny if they're dead because they go into the when they're looking down at the anti-vigilante, they go to his little hidey hole, and he has the masks of he has Renee's, he has Emiko's, and then he has Rory's and Helena's. But they never say if Helena and Ragman are dead because like Diggle says, "Oh yeah, we tried to get in contact with them, but we can't." So Ragman could be dead.
Imagine if he's dead.
I'm gonna be so sad if he's dead. I'm gonna be so upset if he's dead.
He comes back only for the writers to kill him off.
That'd be Now, granted, as much as I loved Quentin and Rory's cameos, they were definitely the ones I was most excited about. I have to say, probably my favorite cameo was Barry Allen.
Oh, that was the best. I think that was probably the best one. That was the best
I
one.
didn't expect Barry to be in this episode at all. Like again, it had special guest star Grant Gustin. I was like, oh wow, Barry's in this, and his cameo was great. Like his was really good. Him and Oliver are public friends, so like to see him, but obviously Barry's identity as the Flash isn't outed. So I like the fact that he sat around going, "Oh yeah, I didn't know Oliver was the Green Arrow until a few months ago." I mean, you think you know someone, and then blah blah blah. I think Grant Gustin played it really well. He came across really just like nice and charming, and I thought he did it really well. Just playing completely coy to the cameras. I thought it was fantastic, and the way he tried to use like the clapper thing at the beginning was cool. Yeah, he was my favorite cameo. I didn't expect it. I think it's because it's the one we least expected to show up. Because
Yeah.
we knew, like I said, I knew Quentin was in this. I knew Thea was in this. Ragman, Sarah. We kind of speculated those. Like we kind of knew Sin was in it as well. But like Barry, I didn't expect. So just to see him there, and because it played off so well in the episode as well, I liked it a lot. So that's all the cameos. It was just so nice. This being like such a special episode, it was nice to have all these characters come back, and yeah, Ragman's the best. So let's talk about the documentary stuff. So this was about, I'd say 70% filmed on a handheld cam, which was really impressive, especially when you get to the action scenes. Because, I mean, the only thing I didn't like about the documentary thing was the filter they had on top of it, like the very grey
Yeah.
filter. I didn't like that.
I did, yeah, because it just took all the color out the scenes, and it just made them a little bit dry. Like I just didn't think it looked very nice.
It looked like Fear the Walking Dead a little bit, which was a bit sad.
Oh, what do you mean? You don't watch Fear the Walking Dead?
I've seen all the complaints though, and I've seen the screenshots.
I don't care. That's not good enough, Declan. You've not seen Fear the Walking Dead. Your opinion is valid.
I do want to start watching it though.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked just the camera work overall. I thought the camera work was just really nice, especially when we get to the action sequences. Like a couple of scenes when, like Oliver's fighting the anti-vigilante, and they just have the camera crew just behind him filming it. That was fantastic. Like the camera work was brilliant in this episode, and the editing was great as well.
Yeah. But now I think that was the thing that I was the most looking to, was that kind of stuff, because obviously with it being a documentary style, they obviously have to film stuff a lot differently to how they used to. Like you say, especially that bit where they fight Chimera, in that. What was it, like Adam Hunt's building from season 1?
Yeah. That was nice as well.
That was really cool, because that had kind of like a horror vibe to it as well. But the fact it was all one shot, and you got to see like the entire thing uncut. That was really cool. It's stuff like that I thought was really cool about with the documentary, and how they used that within the episode itself. I thought that stuff was fantastic.
Yeah,
and
it felt unique as well. It makes the episode stand apart from others. It's just purely by the way it's filmed, the way it's shot, the way it's edited. It's very different. And we do get some really good comedic moments with the cameras as well. Like Curtis completely plays up to the cameras, which I thought was funny.
Like
the way he's just like, he constantly looks in and talks to the cameras and stuff, like all of his ideas and stuff. And also like Diggle gets some amazing looks.
Oh, Diggle, where he's just
so subtle, but so good. Like you're just like, I had my eye on Diggle like the entire time watching these episodes, because I was just like, I need to see at any point and he does like twice. I think it's twice he looks at the camera, and it's just brilliant. He just like very subtly just off camera gives like a little look, and the scene carries on. It's great. Also the little interview that they got with Diggle back in season 1, that was really cool. I like that. That was a nice little moment, especially because like they cut to Diggle in the modern day, and it's like, yeah, that comment didn't age too well. Great moment from Diggle there. I like his line, because Diggle in season 1 was like dead confident when you first meet him. He's like, if you need to do well in this job, in my line of work, you need to be good at sizing people up and stuff like that. Great line. I love that. So yeah, speaking of Chimera, he was pretty nothing.
Yeah, he was the weak.
Though, to be honest.
Nah, he was the weakest part of the episode. I didn't expect him to be that great of a villain going into it. He was always going to be a one-off villain. They kind of tied him in slightly to season 1.
Yeah.
With him being like, what was it? He was saved by by the Hood, and that was what inspired him to want to take vigilantes' masks. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of cool, an idea in the sense that he was like obsessed with vigilantes, and people show their obsessions in weird ways, and this was his way of he was killing vigilantes to take their masks. Like, I kind of liked it.
No confirmation that he killed. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but he just wanted to collect their masks, because to be fair, he took Emiko and Renee's masks, and he didn't kill them. So
yeah.
But yeah, he was pretty nothing.
Yeah. He's a crap villain. One of the things that I remember about him the most was that his armor was Wayne Tech. Which, by the way, can I just reference as well? What? Yeah. Is anything that belonging to Bruce Wayne just getting stolen now? Is it just all for free will? Like the Flash, that car that was like taken in the mid-season premiere, that was Wayne Tech. Everything's just Wayne Tech now. I get it. You want to set up Batwoman, but everything that gets stolen that's high tech is not Wayne Tech. Okay.
Yeah, it's like ever since the crossover, they're like, oh yeah, we can just use Bruce Wayne's name all over the place. It's like, no, you can't. You're making Bruce Wayne seem like an idiot. Can you stop it, please? Now, for me, actually, the anti-vigilante was not the worst part of this episode. The worst part of this episode, by far, was the devil known as William. William is the worst. He actually is.
You hate Jack Moore. That's what it is.
I don't hate Jack Moore. I hate this character.
What do you mean? What about Future William?
Yeah, he's fine. These I consider them as separate characters at this point because they're so.
Oh my
different.
god!
But like, right. So he comes in and he has a hissy fit because Felicity.
He's angsty, man. He's got to have that angst with him. He's been watching so much of Titans. He's just like, oh, gotta be angsty now.
Is he not related to Cicada?
Maybe.
I mean, so he comes in, he starts like having a go at Felicity. He's like, "Oh, you put a fire warmer tablet, get rid of it, please." Well, he didn't say please. He's not polite enough to say please. And so that all happens, and then he goes over to Renee's house and starts hanging out with Zoe, which I didn't like this either because they do this thing where it's like, oh yeah, William and Zoe are good friends.
This is where I think the flash forwards are showing their weakness because
Yeah.
they established that they have such a close relationship, but we've never seen this, and then this
I don't
episode
think we've ever seen
pretends
them in the same scene before.
no,
This episode.
no. So so this for me, especially with the fact, like you said, that they try to make it out as if, oh, we've been friends for ages. It felt so forced. This is what I don't like about the flash forwards. Not only because of the fact that it takes away the tension from some scenes, because you know characters ain't gonna die, but like stuff like this where it's like it happens in the future, so we have to force it in the present day. And if it doesn't feel natural, it will feel forced. And this felt very forced to me. Like it didn't feel like natural.
What this was. They were trying to line it up with the future stuff, and it didn't work because they haven't established these two as a relationship before. Not a relationship in a romantic sense, but because again they even play on that a little bit because they say like, you know, Zoe says it, which granted I think Zoe's good. I like the actress who plays Zoe. I think she's good.
Yeah.
But she was like, oh yeah, did you ask out a girl and she didn't like you back? And William says kind of because we know William's gay. In the future, they've said that. So. Because I thought at first, I was like, what are they doing with these two? Because like William was like, oh yeah, we've been texting over throughout the summer or whatever, and I thought, but William's gay, and then they do that, which you know they do address it, which was fine. But then you get that moment later on where Felicity hacks into the school, realizes that William just completely faked the webpage and was just like, oh yeah, I got expelled. Now we don't know why that is. I think they're going to dive into that next week. But yeah, I hated Williams. I absolutely hated him. Although even though I hated all this and I hated all the scenes with it, at least we did get a fantastic line from Renee who says,
"Oh
I'll
my
be in
god,
the next room cleaning my gun." Brilliant line from Renee. That was great. Yeah, I honestly, I really thought William was done. I really thought he was gone after he left at the end of episode 1, but then they just had to bring him back. I really
hey,
hope
you never know. After next week's episode, he might be gone completely. Hopefully,
maybe Stanley will kill him. That'd be good.
Oh damn!
Well, he's a child mass murderer in the comics, so yeah, why not? Let's go for it.
Yeah, but what they're not going to do that on the TV show, though, are they?
should.
Come on, it's not going to happen.
They should.
I know you hate William, but you ain't going to kill
Oh
him.
yeah, future stuff wouldn't work.
Exactly.
But again, they're so different. Maybe it is a completely different character. Maybe he's just
Declan, I told you this is why the flash forwards don't work in a sense because now you know William will survive. You know he won't die.
I actually had a cool pitch for the future stuff which I wanted to pitch to you. Okay, so everyone is obviously thinking that sort of William's going to become. In fact, I'll get to that later because there's something else I want to talk about. We'll get to that in a bit. So anyway, I like the line when sort of Oliver and Diggle were in the interview room and they said, "Oh yeah, Chimera is out of the SCPD's league, but it's not out of Team Arrow's league." And this is where we kind of get the reformation of Team Arrow. So Team Arrow is actually reformed in this episode, and they all come out and they fight Chimera. And then after taking them down, they all get arrested. But then they all get deputized, just like Oliver is. So now they all work under the SCPD. Now, I have issues with this because it felt very convenient. It was because the mayor, who is so anti-vigilante, she just changed her mind essentially on a whim and was like, because we knew Team Arrow was going to get back together at some point. And they had to do it in some way, and this was their way of doing it. But it just felt so very forced and very convenient. In the sense like, oh yeah, you can all be like Oliver. Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, you'll get a free pass. That's basically what it was. It came out
before she arrested them, and then the next scene,
yeah. I think maybe if they tried to develop this over the past few episodes, like slowly have the mayor sort of like soften up to the idea of having vigilantes work for the SCPD, then that would have made sense more. But it was just that in this episode, even at the very start and throughout it, she's so against it. Like she even has a public display with Oliver Queen, so she can basically shame and disrespect him as the Green Arrow. And then it's like within a span of 10 minutes, she's all of a sudden like, "Oh, I'm going to deputize all these vigilantes."
Yeah,
like it didn't felt. No,
especially because she's been like so against Oliver, like the past couple episodes, like when he's been working with them. It just didn't work. Also, what does this mean for Curtis and Diggle? Because they are serving members of Argus, which technically outranks the SCPD.
I guess maybe Argus is such a like secret organization. Maybe I don't know.
Are they just going to quit Argus now? Because like Diggle seems very committed to that job. Like like so good. Like ever since the back half of season 6, he's been like, yeah, Argus is my thing, and I've liked Diggle in Argus. I think it's been kind of cool, even though he's been. He hasn't been in this season as much as I'd like him to. Like, there's even a scene between Oliver and Diggle. Like, there's a couple of scenes between Oliver and Diggle, and we haven't had a proper scene between Oliver and Diggle really this season, except for like maybe in episode 1. We haven't had like a proper good, Oliver sort of Daddy Diggle scene. We haven't had any
Yeah,
scenes like that, and we got a couple.
Daddy Diggle.
Daddy Diggle. Have you not heard of Daddy Diggle? That's what we call him. That's what the Arrowverse fandom calls him when he has these like dad talks with Oliver.
Oh no, no, I'm oblivious to these.
Yeah, it's Daddy Diggle. So anyway, we had all that, and also they're going to rebuild the bunker apparently. Sure, whatever. I kind of thought they would make a new base, but again, this confuses me because if they're working for the SCPD, then why would they rebuild the bunker? Surely they just work out of the SCPD, like Oliver does, or are they just gonna allow them to have their own? Like, are they like a separate division of the SCPD now, like the vigilante division? Like, I don't know. It kind of confuses me. I really hope when they rebuild the bunker, though, they don't just rebuild the set. They just they do change it.
Yeah, they actually change the set and make it look really different.
Because I really liked the bunker. That was definitely my favorite base they've ever had because it looked awesome. It didn't have like the gritty nature of the Foundry, but like it was just really I loved the suit displays and stuff. That was like I loved that and all the green lights and stuff. I thought that was cool.
But then, I reckon because the thing is that they've had that same base now for 3 seasons, same as they had with the Foundry. So I think it's definitely in need of a refurbishment. Like, you don't need to change necessarily the location of it, which obviously they aren't going to, but just the look of it. I think the look of it has to change, just because it's nice to have a bit of an update every now and then.
Yeah. And then, sort of the final scene of the episode is we cut to the future and we see the character of Mia, played by Catherine McNamara, actually watching the documentary. We find out that it's banned, and she is with John Diggle Jr., who they bring back from Legends of Tomorrow. This was really cool. I mean, we knew this character was coming back at some point because we saw the actor on social media posting with the actress who plays Emiko. But I didn't expect him to come back this soon. I didn't think it was going to be this episode. I thought we had like a couple more episodes in before this was going to happen. But I'm very happy with them bringing this character back. I loved him in Legends, even though this is going to be a different version technically, because obviously that future timeline from Legends doesn't exist anymore. It's really cool that they've kept the same actor and bringing him back. And they officially call him Connor Hawke as well, which is interesting. Obviously, there's no kind of because obviously
maybe Diggle's dead in the future. Then confirmed.
I think that's good because the reason why he changed his name in the comics in the Legends timeline was because he didn't want to tarnish Diggle's legacy because Diggle was dead in the future. So I think them calling him Connor Hawke is definitely a sign that Diggle's dead.
Finally,
which is a real shame, but that's definitely a sign. But I'm happy that this character's back though. I'm excited to see what they do with him.
Yeah, I liked him in the Legends season 1. I really liked him in that episode. So
that was the best.
It's nice.
Season 1.
Yeah, easily. So I'm just happy we get to see more of his character, like in a different version of it in Arrow. Like, I really can't wait for it.
Yeah, and they even go to the base as well, which apparently was rebuilt. So, and I was trying to look. It doesn't look that much different, but I can't really expect them to completely rebuild the set and then destroy it for this one scene. But that's just like a budgetary thing. But it's still kind of cool, I suppose. And I'm happy to have this character back. And in regards to Mia as well, she doesn't really get much to do in this episode, but she's really going to be heavy in the next 3 episodes, apparently, according to Catherine herself. She did an interview with TV Line, and she was talking about she's got a lot of big stuff in, like episode 13, 14, 15, and then 16 is the completely future episode. Also, where's Roy? Like, Roy's been like gone for ages. Can we please bring him back? That was like the reason I was excited about this season.
But I'm excited for Black Star now, especially because of the rumors now as to potentially who her parentage is, which I'd be completely down for.
Yeah, rumor is her mother is Black Siren. I like that theory a lot.
To be fair, it makes a lot more sense.
It makes sense because the only question is who's the father. But I think seeing the fact because I think they look similar. I think that works. Black Siren, Black Star, similar code names. I think it works.
Yeah.
It checks out a lot more than like the Oliver and Felicity thing, which I mean that can't physically happen now because the thing is William and Mia are too close in age. At least it seems that way, so it doesn't work. And then the whole I didn't mind the Thea and Roy thing, but they have actually debunked that because Catherine McNamara said that Roy doesn't know who she is. So they've debunked that. But I like the Black Siren theory a lot. Like, making her Laurel's daughter, I think, is a really cool idea. It's just who's the father going to be? Are they just going to introduce like a weird love interest for Laurel next season?
Maybe.
I bet that's what they do. What about it? I was about to say, what about they bring over Earth to Oliver? That doesn't work.
No,
Tommy.
because maybe.
Tommy. Bring back Colin Dong. That'd be
get in.
Beth Schwartz make it happen. Here's my. So this is the pitch I was about to bring up earlier for the future. So you know how everyone thinks that William's going to become like the new Green Arrow in the future?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we are going to get, and I think in the future at some point, maybe by the end of the season, we're going to get a new Team Arrow in the future, and it's going to be Connor Hawke as the Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
William will be Overwatch. Because if you think about it, he's a lot more similar to Felicity than he is Oliver. And he's very technically minded. He runs his own tech business.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen. And then we'll have, I don't know, I haven't figured it all out. But obviously, like Zoe will probably be the Black Canary. Mia, I don't know what Mia. You know, I don't have it all lined out. But my point is, it'd be Connor is the Green Arrow and William would be the Felicity to his Green Arrow.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though, if they set that up. Like,
yeah, like
if they made... because
bring back Star City from the dead.
Get in.
And that would be like the season 8 flash forward story. That'd be pretty cool. Because if they're going to continue doing the flash forwards in season 8,
they might as well build up something here.
Yeah,
which I think would be really cool. Because that, in a way, then that kind of is similar to what the season 1 flashbacks did for the season 2 ones. They very much set themselves up for one another because they were so interlinked.
Yeah.
And I think, if they do that with the season 7 and season 8 flash forwards, I think that'd be really cool. Especially now because we know that obviously the show's going to get a season 8, so they can do this kind of stuff, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. And then also, it's just interesting as well to see what they do, because, I mean, I hope by the end of the season they just kind of like reveal everything in the flash forwards, because, you know, in season 8, then you can just kind of do what you want, because I feel like at the end of the season we are going to get a reveal with Felicity, we are going to get a reveal with Oliver.
Yeah.
The only ones they might not reveal are Diggle and Curtis, which basically confirms they're dead. But I think, I just think they need to reveal some stuff, and then in season 8 they have a little free reign, just kind of do what they want. Also, I saw an interesting theory as well that regards to our future Hoss, Old Man Hoss, right?
Oh, damn.
People are speculating now, because obviously people are speculating that for a while now that the true villain is the Ninth Circle. Apparently Renee in the future works for them, and that's why he's corrupt.
Oh, damn.
Which I actually think makes a lot of sense. So apparently that guy he was talking to who knew about Felicity's death,
yeah,
he's a member of the Ninth Circle.
Oh, that would be really interesting, to be honest.
And like the Ninth Circle, or like the fall of Star City, or something like that. And yeah, so like that's why Renee is so corrupt in the future.
You have made me so excited now for this season, even more so than I was.
Like that's a cool theory. I like that because it doesn't because we were all wondering like what happened to Renee, because like he's just like because he's like the most gung ho like good guy, and now all of a sudden in the future he's like corrupt. I think it's the wig, to be honest, but other than that,
there's something in that wig that's controlling.
It's like the Thinker's thinking cap. It's just it just gives him all these evil doings. But this was a fantastic episode on the whole. I loved it. I thought it, for 150th episode, really had some special moments in there, especially with the cameos and stuff. Quinton, Ragman, Barry, Sarah. I think that Thea. I think it was great having all those back. I loved the documentary style, the camera work, the editing. Like I said, didn't love the filter, but I can look past that. I think it just works really well. I think it was executed really well. My only negatives, like I say, was Chimera, not great. William, dreadful. And the whole Team Arrow being deputized thing, like I said, it needed to happen. I just didn't particularly like the way it happened and how quickly it happened, because it just felt very convenient. But outside of all that, I thought this was a great episode overall.
That is very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it twice now, and I loved it even more the second time, to be honest. I just think it's fantastic. It's funny, I've heard a couple of negative criticisms from a couple of people who didn't like the episode, and
to be fair, I've heard two main ones, which is either that, like you say, with a few people that we've heard from, is that they either didn't like the documentary style, which I guess I could sort of understand if maybe it's very much The Office, but except it didn't really feel like that, obviously, because The Office is very comedic about it. Yeah. This wasn't as much. So I can kind of understand that. The other one which I've seen, which I think is completely pathetic, is Olicitors Online being like, oh, it wasn't about Olicity or original Team Arrow. And I'm like, that's not what it's about. No, it's about the fucking show. It's not a ship or like when I saw those complaints online, I genuinely just like face palmed. It's pathetic. Those criticisms I think aren't valid.
No, they're not valid.
Yeah.
That's not valid. That's not valid at all. But I still thought this was a great episode. Like I said, there are a couple of criticisms that I have with it.
Yeah.
For the most
But
part, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of the standout episodes of the season so far. Like I said, just because it was so different.
Yeah,
I'd
say it was probably my second favorite of the season, just under episode 7, Slapside Redemption, which is just
obviously
top tier episode. But...
I'd still say I preferred the premiere over this.
Yeah, actually, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I probably agree with that. But episode 7 is still the goat.
Definitely.
7 is just god tier.
Absolutely.
It is. Anyway, so that does draw us to a close of this episode of On a Thy Podcast. Do you have anything else you'd like to
add? Other than the fact that we apologise for recording this so late, because this is probably going to come out like just the day before Arrow. We apologise for this, but we are lazy, miserable bastards, so it makes sense.
No, we're not. Let's say the real reason as to why we didn't record on the day, because this is your fault.
No. This is my family's fault.
Tell our audience the real reason as to why we didn't record on Thursdays as we normally do.
Because I went out with my family.
Exactly. Didn't plan ahead enough.
Nah, it's because I had a social life, bro. Deal with it.
Those,
Deal with it, bro. Deal with it.
But yes, we do apologise for doing this very late. It feels very strange doing this on a Sunday. It doesn't feel right. I haven't had a Domino's beforehand, so it feels very strange. I'm going to go order one now because I need one.
It feels wrong to do it without one.
It honestly does. So I'm going to order some chicken. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and make sure you share it around with any other DC fans you think may enjoy this content. Make sure you let me know your thoughts on these episodes as well. Did you love Ragman's cameo? Because we all know you did anyway. And with all that being said, I've been Dec.
I've been Dan.
And we hope to see you guys again next week.